Hello again. So welcome to the second tool that we're using for the program Unleash Your Intuition. Now the second tool is creative expression. And we're kind of, if you noticed or maybe you haven't noticed, we're moving up the chakra system a little bit. So I'm starting off low and we're just kind of rising up to the crown. So creative expression related to our second chakra, the sacral chakra. So something that is important about creative expression is that it allows us to unleash our inner child, okay? And from a lot of perspectives, this inner child is actually our intuitive space, or at least a voice of it, or a messenger for it. So when we do allow ourselves to express creatively, we allow ourselves to kind of find this childlike self again. Now, you all probably do have some sort of form of creativity that is, whether like it's with you, whether it be dormant or super alive, it's there. Okay, before I started engaging more so in creative expression, I was feeling like I was kind of uneasy and like I just felt really unfulfilled and like I didn't have much of a purpose, even though I was working a lot and I was doing a lot of stuff to, more so like evolve myself and my career and everything else. And this was years ago. So at the time I was working in advertising. And yes, I was evolving in this career path and I was evolving like in prosperity and this kind of stuff. But as far as like an intuitive way or a heart-filled way, I wasn't really evolving at all. I wasn't allowing any sort of creativity to come in. I was just pushing it aside because I was too focused on work or socializing. Now, socializing and work are important, but again, it's important to have all of these different realms into our life. So my, for example, form of creativity is poetry. So I put together all different kinds of poems, and when I started to allow myself to create more poetry, even if it sucked, that's what started to make me be able to speak more and more from this inner child, from this intuitive place, from this heart center. So the more consistently that I would engage with creative expression, the better that it was for me on a soul-based level. The more creative expression that I gave off, the more, even better in my opinion, creative expression that I would receive. So let's say I started off by writing like a couple poems a week. Maybe for the first 3 weeks they really sucked, and then after that I started to really get these beautiful ideas and channeled this like amazing creativity. Some people say that creativity is actually us channeling something, and I believe that. I don't know if you guys do, but I certainly do, and I think it's really cool because we're channeling this intuitive space. We're channeling this, space of the soul or the higher self or the heart, and we're using our inner child to express it. So this also helps us bring in a really strong sense of purpose. We have a purpose, of course, in this world. We all have different egos, such as like mom, dad, brother, sister, employer, restaurant owner, boss, life coach, yoga teacher. Like there are so many different egos and different purposes that we have in this world. But when I am talking about purpose here, I mean like a really deeply fulfilling purpose, a purpose that fulfills you on a soul-based level or on a intuitive level. Okay, so this is why it's so important to bring ourselves into this opportunity to welcome in creative expression. Okay, again, even if you think it sucks, or even if you think you suck, especially if you think you suck, please bring this in. Okay, so of course different ways to use this tool, and it really all depends on you and what you're into. Chances are you do have a form of creative expression, so just welcome that in. Maybe it's dormant, maybe it's alive already, like super alive, and you do it every day. Maybe it is your career. But whatever it may be, even if you don't know what it is, just experiment with some stuff. So again, in the ebook, which you should have downloaded by now, even though I'm against the word should. Sometimes it works because you should have downloaded it by now. So in the ebook that you do have, it will show you a list of different ideas for some creative expression. you know, and this can be like dance or swim or get on your yoga mat and just like start flowing or draw or paint or write poetry or write a story. Like, it's different for everybody, and maybe you haven't really, you know, indulged in creative expression much in recent years, and if you haven't, then like just go to your local art store, see what's available, and maybe just start there. You know, maybe you're really drawn to buying a canvas, maybe you're really drawn to these specific paints, maybe they're watercolors or pastel or whatever, and just kind of follow that intuition. Go into the art store, listen to your intuition, buy what you need to buy, and go home and just start creating. Maybe create while you're in nature. Maybe create while you have some running water next to you out of like a little fountain at some sort of park. Maybe create at the beach, so that you're kind of bringing the first tool, being earthly connections, along with this tool. So whatever it is that you choose is correct, okay? And the thing that I want also to stress is to express from a really authentic space, even if it does feel a little bit vulnerable, you know, even if you are like, I'm not good at this, I could be better if I did something else, and just changing your mind all the time, like, you know, starting to paint a photo and then being like, actually I don't want to do this, I'm gonna sketch instead, or actually I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna write instead, I'm not gonna do this, I'm gonna swim in a free way instead. No, just like stick to something, okay? Like, you have self-discipline, you do, even if it feels like you don't, you do, I promise you. It's in you, it's from this intuitive space, and use this intuitive space to unleash it even more. Express authentically, be vulnerable, create from a space that feels real for you, even if it sucks, okay? It doesn't effing matter if it sucks. Just do it. Hone in this creative expression, speak from your inner child, allow it to be the messenger, and just have fun with it, okay? So may the divine light within me honor that within you. Namaste and enjoy.